What's going on, everybody? Kennybombx in the building, and 2K just dropped a monster patch for WWE 2K25. That's no exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is absolutely massive. My Xbox is reading like 9.26 gigabytes. And the crazy thing is, as long as these patch notes are, they don't even include everything. People are discovering new things on X as I'm making this video right now. So let's go through these patch notes as quick as humanly possible, and then we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the updates people have found that were not listed. But first, help me out by dropping a like on this video. Just don't forget to smash that subscribe button, especially if you don't want to miss any updates on WWE 2K25. Now let's get into it.
Run, boy, they coming on.
Alright, so as y'all can see, these patch notes are absolutely insane. They dropped the book on us. And I know everything means something to somebody, so I'm going to try to go through everything without spending too much time on any one thing. Notice I said try. But big shouts out to Status who brought us this update. Make sure y'all follow him on X if you don't already, because he's dropping a lot of other stuff that's included in this patch. So we're going to start off with general. As always, we got stability and performance improvements. The next thing we have are new championships that were added. So they added the NXT championship and they added the NXT women's championship. Now we did see this tease previously. I believe Status actually has a picture of it here as well, where we saw Obafemi rocking the new NXT championship, and they added the women's championship as well. So that's a pretty good fix, especially for the universe mode players. Now, they made some camera fixes as well. Some issues I had with the camera is during tag team matches, your opponent's partner gets in the way quite a bit. He's just standing there blocking the action. And I understand this is because the game is originally designed for that hard cam view, but I think they need to find some way to fix this with the ramp facing camera. Maybe make the partner stand on the other side of the ring. I don't know. We'll see if they addressed it here, but I'm pretty sure that's something nobody ever mentioned. But here's what we got under camera fixes. They addressed reported concerns of the Money in the Bank briefcase clipping in creations. Now, clipping is annoying to a lot of people. It doesn't bother me as much because it's something that happens in all video games, but the more clipping you can fix, the better. They addressed reported concerns of camera cuts presentation options not updating in AI versus AI matches. Another thing I could see being annoying, because I hate when I have the ramp camera chose and I go into a match and they automatically make me do the hard cam view. Don't like it. They adjusted Hell in the Cell roof transparency to make it more opaque. I think they need to rework the Hell in the Cell matches altogether. This has traditionally been my favorite match type to play in any wrestling game. Now I just find it annoying because I see the cage too much. I want them to give us an option at least to put the camera inside the cage. I don't need to see the cage when I'm playing the match. Don't like it. They addressed reported concerns of the camera losing the target in a multiplayer brawl within the WWE archives and NXT parking lot environments, and when a superstar exited the ring during an underground match. All right, not something I noticed there, but again, good fixes. They addressed the reported concerns of the camera not focusing on the AI winner after a human player was eliminated from a Royal Rumble. Now, camera fixes in the Royal Rumble match, very good. But we got some bigger fish to fry, because while the AI eliminating themselves is hilarious, it's a pretty bad bug. So hopefully we get a fix for that one in here as well. But let's go ahead and move on. They improved camera tracking, angles, and targeting. Now this is one I actually really like, because I feel like targeting is something that should be in the back of our mind that we don't even really notice. But more often than not, if CM Punk is standing in front of me and I'm trying to swing my steel chair at him, my guy turns around and hits Hulk Hogan with it. I'm like, I mean, good job, bro, but what are we doing? And they also dropped some additional updates to highlights and replays. But let's go ahead and move on to the creation suite, because this is something I've seen people complain about quite a bit for WWE 2K25. So hopefully we got the fixes we need so you guys can keep giving us this great content. And the first fix listed here actually looks like a pretty good one. They addressed reported concerns where the manual camera would not engage in create an arena and create a superstar during part and image customization. Now, I'm not a creator myself, myself, but I can see how important that manual camera would be, especially if you're trying to get everything in the right spots. And we also got stability improvements for all modes. And this is really important for the creation suite because the last thing you want is to be deep into your character creation and things crash. So stability improvements, always welcome. Now, as stated earlier, I know everything is for somebody and everybody does not have an X account. That's why we make these videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and run through all of these creating arena fixes so the arena creators know exactly what to expect and we can respect everybody's time by keeping this video under 15 minutes, hopefully. But I do want to move on to create a superstar because the fixes here are actually a lot less in number than I expected. In fact, we only got one. For Create a Superstar, they address reported concerns of not being able to reorder image customizations. Now, every time I go under a 2K post these days, I see people saying, fix your game, and they're talking about Create a Superstar. So for them to only have one fix here is actually pretty surprising to me. I mean, maybe people are exaggerating on what's wrong with it. If there is something wrong with it, you guys let me know in the comment section. But moving on to environments, they added Saturday night's main event arena, which is pretty good, especially if you play universe mode. This is going to be good to get your show to feel more like it feels on TV. Now, this next one is pretty interesting. They made improvements to player and camera collisions with objects in multiple arenas. What they need to improve is the way these wrestlers collide with the weapons when they're in the ring. That's a bigger issue we'll talk about in another video, but I would also like to see them give us the ability to damage the Titantron in the front of the arena, on top of the stage, like we could in AEW Fight Forever. We can break the LEDs around the stage, but as soon as I got in here, I went to the Titantron to see if I could break them like we could in AEW Fight Forever, and it's not happening. Cancel Christmas, ruin the whole party. They also gave us updates to multiple Superstar Titantrons, and I've seen some of these posted on X, and we'll get to those in what's probably going to be another video because this one is already getting too long. We're not even almost done, ladies and gentlemen. But next we move on to MyGM, a mode I was actually really excited to try this year, but the online stuff turned out not to be what we expected it to be, so maybe next year. But they got some pretty good updates here. Brand updates. They added women's mid-card championships for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT brands. Brands with new mid-card belts have had their popularity bonuses reduced for balancing against other brands. They updated the NXT belt visuals, and the NXT brand now receives 2 copies of their power cards per season. GM mode got a lot of love with this update, so hopefully these fixes and changes make the mode even better for you guys who play. Do you play GM mode, and is this something I need to get into so we can interact with that more? Let me know in the comment section. But next up, we have a pretty interesting category because this one is graphics. We got general stability improvements to the graphics, so I guess they're making the graphics more stable as well. The next thing they updated is apparently, if you were using an alternate attire for your superstar, it made it where their body didn't get damaged with bruising. So that's actually a good update, something I did not notice before, so glad it was fixed before I actually ran into it. They addressed reported concerns of face photo image positions resetting when selecting the image after making modifications to it. Guess that's Creator Wrestler stuff. So that probably should have been under Creator Wrestler fixes. And they also addressed reported concerns on Xbox One and PS4, which is what we don't care about. Just kidding. Big shouts out to the Last Gen players, where images placed in custom arenas will display gaps and move improperly during matches. And now we move on to MyFaction, the mode I've been playing the most, and I've actually been enjoying it quite a bit this year. So for MyFaction, they updated displays for packed contents within different play modes. They updated empty images and general stability improvements as always. These are things I didn't notice in the mode, so really no big fixes here for me. What I wish is they added the button mash pin system back to this thing, but I'm sure it was removed intentionally. Probably because people were using turbo controllers to cheat the button mash system, and they're like, we're trying to make some money in here. That's what y'all are not doing. So unfortunately, they might not be adding that button mashing system back, but I really hope so because that's the only thing that really takes me out of MyFaction. I hate that pin system. Now we move on to MyRise, general instability improvements. The only thing I would like to see them change with MyRise is let me use a different superstar for my second playthrough. I don't want to use the same superstar to play through the thing like 5 5 or 10 times. Let me change my superstar and I'll be more willing to play through it again. But as of right now, that's what I'm not doing. We move on to Universe. Now, from what I understand, we got some pretty big Universe mode changes here. So calendar, they added Saturday night's main event to the Universe calendars and as a PLE template. Added the arena and integrated it right into Universe mode immediately. That's a big W. Active show will no longer be automatically simulated when deleting the simulated show. Address reported concerns with show deletion from the calendar and improve general stability and functionality. Now, I'm not a Universe mode guy. I said I was going to jump into Universe mode this year. I haven't yet, but once things dry up in MyFaction, then I will be giving it a shot. But the people who play Universe mode are celebrating these updates on X, and it's good to see because a lot of people were mad because Universe mode just doesn't really get a lot of love. We got some changes to rivalries that people have been asking for. Looks like some changes to cutscenes, so make sure you guys pause this if you need to, take a look at what has been changed, and go in and check it out yourself because it looks like it's a lot of good stuff here. But let's move on to the overall gameplay updates. They addressed reported concerns of run-in and paparazzi paybacks not functioning in Universe mode, so even more Universe updates. They addressed reported concerns of manager attire appearing as ring attire, additional improvements around Bloodline rules match, alternate attire usage, and custom match rules applying correctly. They also addressed reported concerns with a rope break automatically happening in underground matches. What? You can't even pick, okay, I guess maybe a submission in underground matches triggering a rope break? That's crazy because there's literally no ropes in that match. And then we close it out with our other updates. They enabled Payback, MyRise 2K25, and WrestleMania 31 day and night arenas for Create a Show and Universe. They also enabled win-loss tracking for all superstars in Universe mode. Why was that not there before? They addressed reported concerns with championship stats, made various adjustments to the initial Universe mode roster and setup. Now that is an absolutely massive patch, but it's like 3 weeks in the making, so it makes sense. Let's just hope it makes the game feel better. Now I know I said we'd be looking at some of the things that people found being updated. Things are still being found. Apparently, a pretty big entrance has been updated as well, but this video is almost about to be like 15 minutes long, so I'm gonna come back tonight and we'll do a patch visualizer video where we take a look at some of the things that have been fixed. So make sure you guys drop a like on this video if you can. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And take care of yourself. Bomb Squad, let's get to that.